What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Like mentioned in the thumbnail, we're going to be installing some seat belts on this 2014 Club Car President. Now this is a kit from Nokins. This is Nokins seat covers, front and rear, Nokins rear cup holders. I did a video on those a couple of videos ago. These are pretty easy to install. All right, guys, so the seat belt kits are great for little ones on the back, especially if you could go into the grocery store or the hardware store and you want to secure some packages on the back of the golf cart. You can use those seat belts to do that as well. Now, I'm no little guy here. I'm just going to show you here how well it works. Comes over and it locks into place, as you can hear it. I have it going around my stomach area right here. So if you're wondering, how big they are extremely big there. So very easy to install, and that's what we're doing on today's video. Stay tuned. I will say that the seatbelt kit has been sitting in the corner of my shop now for a little over a week, and it does have some dust on them, but this is not the way it was received when I opened the package from Nokins. It comes with everything, even the hardware here, and it came with some instructions. Let's go ahead and get this right here put together and installed on the golf cart. So the first thing that we're going to do here is open this hardware up, pour it out here, and we're going to be using 4 of the 9/16 bolts here to attach this bracket and this bracket together. So in order to get started, we're going to take this bracket and this bracket, we're going to mount them together. We're going to actually do a butt mount. We're going to use these plates here. One's going to be on the inside, one's going to be on the outside, and we're going to use 4 of the 9/16 bolts, 4 of the nylon locking nuts, and 8 of the washers. Take a bolt, pass it through a washer. We're going to pass it through one of these plates here on one side. We're going to take that, we're going to pass it through that one side plate like that. So basically we're sandwiching both of these longer plates together with these 2 small plates and using the bolts and the washers. So I have the bracket mounted together, and I was trying to make it as straight as possible. Well, I still have a bend in it. As you can see, we have a gap here. And here, our gap is on the outside. See how it rocks back and forth? So what I'm gonna do is loosen it back up, leave it on the ground, and try to tighten it back up so we can make it as flat as possible. All right, so as you can see, once I loosen the second one, it pretty much just laid down flat. Next, I'm going to reinstall this right here while it's on the ground. Maybe it'll stay much flatter this time. There we go, looks much better. Let's check the other side. Oh yeah, much better than what it was. So if you have a stock golf cart or stock golf cart seat backs here or uprights here, you're gonna have to put this left bracket and right bracket together with these bolts and nuts and these 2 brackets. The reason you're gonna do that is they have these slots here that allow you to bolt these brackets right here to the stock seats. They have the bolts, and they have 2 more shackle brackets. One will go from behind, one will go from the front, and you can clamp it down. Then this will allow you to clamp your seatbelt buckle to one side and your latch to the other. Now, since we have a back seat kit on our Club Car President, we're not going to need to put these 2 together. We're just going to bolt those to the back seat kit. Once we have that bolted, we'll be able to bolt the latch and the buckle directly to this right here. So let's get back started on the other golf cart. So what I'm trying to show you here is on the back seat, you have this bracket right here. You have this bracket, that bracket, and one back here as well. So with that being said, you do not have to put those 2 main brackets together. We're just gonna bolt one to that side, the other to this side next. So I'm gonna put the inside piece here towards the inside. I'm gonna bolt both of these up just like this right here. Well, we'll be able to mount the latch on either side and the buckle on the opposite side. This middle hole will line up on both of these right here, give us equal amount of room between both of the seats. Now, before we mount the mounting bracket to the golf cart seat frame, we're gonna go ahead and put on the buckles and latches. Before we mount it on, it'll just be easier in the process. I went ahead and opened one bag, but just to show you what the other bag looks like, comes with the same hardware here, 2 bolts, 2 locking nuts, and 2 lock washers. We're going to be installing 2 latches and 2 buckles on the golf cart bracket here before we install it. So we know that we're going to put this on this side here and this one on this side. And if it's latching around the driver here, we want to make sure we put the latch on the outside there and the latch on the outside here, if that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and put these on. Now the hardware that we're going to be using is going to be a 3/4 inch wrench and a number 19 millimeter socket to tighten everything down with. Remember, the red portion of the latch is going to go to the inside of the cart there. Once you have everything in place, I'm going to take my socket and the impact, and I'm going to take my wrench here, put it in place, and just tighten them down. All right, so once we have all of this done, we're going to go ahead and repeat the same process on the other bracket and get those mounted as well before we install them onto the golf cart. So I will try to mount this side of the bracket to the back seat kit. However, I noticed that this belt here on this side needs to be pointed a little bit further up. So we're going to go ahead and loosen this up and try to get that taken care of before we mount it. I think that'll be a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in place right here. I'm going to grab some hardware. And with this hardware, we're going to stick it in through the outside of both sides. So I have one side mounted, but I've already noticed one thing, and it's this right here, the seat latch coming out in the middle of the back of the golf cart here. We need to loosen it up and move it up or rotate it upwards, because right now when the seat goes up, the seat is wanting to hit it about that much there, and I think if we just angle it up towards the seat itself, we'll clear. All right, we got it angled up as you can see here. Let's try the seat now, see if it'll clear. And it does. It's not hitting at all. So there's plenty of room for when a rear passenger sits here, they can get buckled in right here. It's not loose, that's just a little bit of play from inside of the plastic portion of the latch itself, but the bolt right there is completely firm. As you can see here, everything's good to go. And I loosened this one here up, moved it up to match this one, so neither one of them is now hitting when you open or close the seats, so that's perfect. This job is pretty much done, guys. I'm gonna go back and make sure all the hardware is tightened up, but this is a pretty simple install. There we go. All right, there it is. I am strapped in. I am not a little one at all. So if this golf cart rear seat belt kit would fit me, I'm sure it'll fit y'all too, especially if you have kids or little ones riding on the back, make them feel a little bit safer. You know, mom's always like, be careful, Dad. Don't go too fast around this corner. Don't be popping wheelies, Dad. You know the kind of people I'm talking about. So if you're like that and you want to get a seatbelt kit, it'd be great. Got another thing to show you here. Let's move the cup holders out the way. Let's pull the seat down into the storage location here. Say you want to load a cooler or something up. So now you have a seat belt. You can latch the cooler in place if you want to. Okay, it's not going anywhere. It's latched into place. That's another good reason about seat belts or rear attachment points back here. So that's another good thing to think about. You can load stuff in the back of the golf cart and securely attach it. Well, there you go, guys. This is a pretty simple install. I'm pretty sure the Tin Man could do this. Even without a brain, anyone can do this. Very simple install. Seats lock, look great. They don't get in the way, which is the number one thing that I like. You can make the back seat passengers a little bit safer, or you can secure items with the seat folded down in the cargo area. So with all that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in for today's video. I'll put a link to the seatbelt kit down in the description below, along with the seat covers, the cup holder, the rear seat, all of the stuff that I've done from Nokins so far. All right, so other than that, be sure to subscribe, like the channel, share this with a friend, and until next time, we'll see y'all later.